Colombia is a country where Christians have known real persecution through the years of totalitarian rule and then later in the days of the drug cartels. Often Christians were targeted for their faith and shot. Yet it was in the fires of persecution that evangelical churches grew.
In that time, the church in Medellin duplicated at least. And suddenly we were seeing far more numerous churches coming about. And so from that time onward, you have what I think is called impact evangelism, where there is a momentum builds up, and where somebody comes to Christ, his family hears about it, his friends hear about it. And even if there is often within society a negative view of Christians, of evangelicals and all that, the curiosity, the interest, the change that they can see in somebody who's become a Christian, that brings more people into the church.
Rapidly growing churches need trained leaders, which is the task of the seminary, as the academic dean, Teo's son-in-law, Luis Eduardo Ramirez, explained.
Sin embargo, nuestro énfasis está en el llamado y la vocación.
Our emphasis is upon the call and the vocation. We train servants of Christ who have a passion for him and for his church. The aim is that the church may increase not simply numerically, but also in theological depth and in biblical knowledge. For this reason, our curriculum is focused on the complete training of the person, not simply on the academic side. We're concerned for the student's vocational calling, his ministry, his relationships, and this all develops together in the student's spiritual training.
Todo un proyecto de formación espiritual dentro de los estudiantes.
I think one of the people you've spoken to has already mentioned how students that come to us, we need to go through Christian foundations with them because they have no sense of what are the fundamental Christian doctrines. And these are the people who are interested in ministry and in theology. So this is a worry. And what happens when Christians do not have a strong sense of identity and a strong sense of their historical Christian roots and their biblical roots is that they will simply assimilate to certain parts of society and will simply adopt the general prosperity view that the rest of society has, that we all live in order to prosper, and so we get a gospel that says Jesus wants you to prosper. And this is the difficulty. If there is no clear Christian identity, no solid roots, not a sense of history of the flow of Christian movement that we stand in, then the secularization, the washing away of all this tremendous growth in Christianity that we have seen over the recent decades may happen very quickly indeed.
I stayed one night on campus and went to the gym to watch a very Colombian game of football. These students play with a passion and were quite ready to risk an injury for their team, cheered on from behind the goal by their wives and children. In their time in seminary, they will be expected to study Greek and Hebrew, study all the genres of scripture and the principles of biblical interpretation, the full scope of Christian doctrine, as well as pastoral counseling, preaching and church leadership, and a strong emphasis on relating a Christian worldview to society.
Well, I was attracted here to the seminary for two main reasons. One was the academic studies. I believe that it's a place where they offer a high standard of academic training. And secondly, because of the atmosphere of fellowship and friendship. These two aspects are very necessary for the training that I want as a pastor.
Well, I am training to be a missionary. I want to serve in churches, training leaders so that they can do missions, and professional people so that they can do missions from their profession. So that's what I want to...
Well, during the semester that is just finishing, I studied the unit on the Introduction to the New Testament. I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it because I learned to see the books in a different way. Not in a literal way, but seeing what the context of the book taught me and how to put it into practice and apply it spiritually. And I especially enjoyed the way the teacher taught. in a clear, simple way and with humility. I really enjoyed the class, and so far, it is one of my favorites.
Es una de mis favoritas.
But when I got here, I saw another thing, and the things that I like now is the things that I like now is the friendships that I have here, my friends, and they're not even my friends; they become actually like part of my family now, and that's one of the good things that the seminary has provided me.
Although the students live here on Seminary and it's a beautiful place to live, it's a great community, there is no danger that their focus should be only on their studies. The students go out to serve in churches across Medellin, they get preaching experience, they do evangelism, they learn their pastoral skills in practice. And the seminary also helps in a variety of other ways, making a wider impact in the public life of Colombia.
Every student that comes to the seminary comes with a commitment to do what we call practical ministry, to be involved in ministry in a church or in education, in a school, in different kinds of things. It depends on what particular area of ministry that they are interested in. And they have to do a certain number of hours every week in that kind of practical ministry, and before they can graduate they must have done at least one semester of an internship in some kind of ministry situation before they have fulfilled all our requirements to be able to graduate.